Hello, welcome back to the Impossible Creatures Replay channel, back with the Impossible Creatures 2021 World Cup, and a very exciting game tonight with Team Scotland going up against Team England 2. My name is Will, and I'm joined by Logan.
Hello.
And also Shoddy.
Hi.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm extremely excited about this matchup. We have got two iconic duos going head to head here with Nandidd and Wilso so far really impressing me as one of the really strong teams of the tournament. And Matt and Kevin, never to be discounted, shall we say. Have either of you guys played with these teams recently?
I played a fair bit with Nandidd and Will. They've been putting in a lot of practice time, especially this past week. They definitely want to be ready for this matchup against Scotland.
And they do have, Scotland does have a pretty good mental matchup against these guys. So we've got Blother down the bottom for Team Scotland and Matt up top left for Team Scotland, facing off against the Eastern team with Nandidd at the top and Wilso down the bottom. And Wilso has said in the past that he is, I don't think scared's the right word, but certainly intimidated by Kev and Matt for a few reasons. Firstly, because they don't play that much, so they're kind of unknown quantities, and they're also both really good. If they both bring their A game, it's going to be extremely hard for Team England to fight them. But England has this synergy. They've been training really well. They look really dominant as a team. This is an early henchman coming out from Will. Shoddy, is this a water rush?
It's really hard to say for sure, but I don't know. I don't know what their strategies are. Nandidd and Wuso are just both. I've been playing a lot with both of them recently, and they're just both phenomenal players. Good defense, good offense. So we'll see what they both have.
That's exactly right. Meanwhile, Nandidd is fencing, and Matt is also sending some henchmen to the north for what looks like a counter of whatever's going on here. It's just kind of mirrored up the north.
Does this Matt blother synergy involve Kevin building 2 of Matt's rods in his base?
You're right, of course. That's so interesting. Well spotted. That's really, really funny. Meanwhile,
we got a water
chamber. Matt has actually got his water chamber down first, despite Wilso being much faster. Wilso opting to swim around the side to place a more sneaky chamber. Probably not necessary, to be honest, but the Gobster is going to get spotted by Nandidd's henchman. Unlucky that he got scouted there. But here's Will getting his water chambers up. I wonder if Nandidd's going to also build a chamber there, or if Nandidd's just going to swing around. What's he doing? And Blother's got a creature chamber down. Oh my goodness, this could be huge. Matt, what are you doing? This is a pistol shrimp electric eel. Ontics indeed.
Look at that water speed, 39 water speed.
Yeah, that'll come in handy.
Nothing to be decided, but
meanwhile, here is the Lem Eatles. This is the barrier destroyer from Blother, while Wilso is massing these Lem Eels. Dear me, and it's so interesting that he's going to come into this base with 5 lightning rods in it. This is looking so bad for Nandidd. Nandidd has been vulnerable to rushes in the past. Matt's probably got to focus down these sound beams, though.
There's the counter on the southwest right now, which is looking good too.
Oh my word, but these sound beams will go a long way, especially if Blother repairs them. Look, this one's already going down. Blother's got to get those hammers working, and he hasn't done it. Dear me, this might become a 1v1. Yes, unless
Matt claim Nandidd's base. He's building a workshop.
He is, unless Nandidd can do something drastic here. He's out of the game, but meanwhile, what's Kevin going to do? He's got to get some more towers up, I think. And Matt's got to funnel him some resources. Nandidd has an expo here. Is he going 3? Can he get lab defense up? It doesn't look like it.
Wow. 2 incredibly potent early rushes right off the bat.
Yeah, 2 successful rushes it looks like, and Nandidd is probably just funneling Wilso resources at this point, which is the correct move. He is definitely out. But Matt's got this base for free, so economically Matt is in a pretty huge position. Oh wow, and the lab is still taking forever to go down, even with these level 1 barrier destroyer units, but what a cool attack. A fusion amphib and land raid. That's Matt hitting level 3. Oh dear me, Wilso's got to be feeling the pump a little bit now because this 1v1, if it becomes a 1v1, because Kevin is still defending valiantly, this 1v1 looks like it might go Matt's way.
It's one of the reasons you really want to be scouting outside of your base, especially on this map. You really do need to be scouting everywhere just to make sure that there is no quick creature chamber or water chamber being able to be produced.
That's exactly right.
This is what happened to both of them. Neither one of them scouted the southwest or the northeast.
Well, I feel like Nandidd saw the water chamber just after it went up, but it wasn't soon enough to save him. And I don't think that Matt's going to be able to save Wilso. Is he even going to try? Sorry, not Wilso, Blother. Blother's not going 3, so he is dead.
But it's going to be a question of whether Will can save himself.
That's exactly right. I mean, this fence is going up, but it looks like it's going to be a bit too slow, and Kevin is gone. Goodbye, Blother. These creatures are going to turn back to defend. Okay, interesting play. Don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. But poor Wilso has very little at home. He's building the workshop now to convert. And we do need to see Beefy really capitalize on his advantage right now. Matt's got to send these units and maybe make some forward chambers. Wow, this henchman, this could be huge. Blother never got around to killing this single henchman, so he's just going to get Kevin's base.
But even then, like, he's taking off hench in his own base, and there's only one at that extra.
Yeah,
Nandidd's base, like, completely occupied.
Yeah, you'd have to think this looks good. Matt appears to be coming in to defend himself against an imaginary attack. Perhaps he's just raiding south. He does have a tendency to just select all units and queue them up. And Wilso's looking like he's going to go for the attack on this expo, or he's just going to hang out. I'm not really sure what these guys are doing.
It's such a smart call. Eliminate the expansion right off the get-go.
Yeah, it looks like a smart call from both of the players here. They've both done it. But Matt's going to have a much easier time of doing that.
They're all going to come in a straight line, and they will be spotted by these Soundbeam Towers and Cuttlefish.
Yeah, it depends. If he micros this a little better, he might be able to pull them back into a unit. I mean, he has the biomass at the moment, but Matt's level 3s will just do a number. Yep, there they go. All undug, but they're just going to walk into this meat grinder. Wilso is close to 3, but he has lost his expo, and he must be feeling a little bit panicked at this point. The sweat will be building.
Most definitely. And
that's Matt. That's Matt at 4. Oh no, I think we're going to see the GG come out pretty soon.
Yeah.
These henchmen are trying to leave base, but they've just been spotted. Avachai is hitting me up in Steam, asking me if I want to play. A nice World Cup cameo, Avachai. Shame you couldn't join us for the cup. Oh, this raid has been pretty successful up north. A lot of hench dead.
A lot of hench dead, but Matt's just so ahead economically, he can just easily repopulate. Especially now that he's pressuring Will's base.
That's right, yep, there's the GG called, and Matt spotting those henchmen as they left Will's base was pretty huge. Wow, what a game.
Very
great effort from both teams.
Both teams.
Now, I want to hear from you one after the other. Let's go Logan first. What do you think could have saved Team England in this game?
Definitely being able to scout and spot out the water chamber from Matt, sort of similar to what Shoddy was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And just like more like, I don't know. You go, Shoddy.
I mean, yeah, like I said before, I mean, scouting on this map especially is huge, and there was no scouts whatsoever. But One of the main things I didn't see was there was no help on the beginning of the rush from I can't even remember who was bottom right.
From Wilson,
there was no. So instead of helping his teammate, he actually decided to go in, which could be a beneficial move. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to get the job done. But such a close, like, it's really comes down to tiny little ticks or decisions that you could have made that would have changed the game in 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's right. It feels like one of the huge deciding factors early on was Matt sending 3 hench compared to Wilso's 1, and that meant Matt could get really established in Nandidd's base while he was attacking it, whereas Wilso really had to wait till he cleared everything out, because if he lost that hench, then he would have lost his ability to expand. And it's interesting because the reason Wilso only sent 1 hench was so he could get there sooner without sacrificing his economy. Matt swam out much later, but actually had his chamber up first just because there was 3 henchmen and he didn't try to swim all the way around. So, like you say, it's those little decisions that seem to have made all the difference.
That's huge. If you're going to rush, you got to send 2 or 3 henchmen. I mean, it makes a world of difference being able to put up, because all it takes is 1 scout to come out and see you, and then you have a 1v1 fight, and he knows you're there. If you come out with 2 or 3, you can overcome most things, still get up your creature chamber, and still rush effectively.
Yeah, and it's just worth it, really, most of the time. But it's such a hard decision for how many hench to send. And honestly, like, it was a savvy play from Team Scotland because Nandidd historically, I've heard this from my teammate Yagami, has a bit of a track record of not necessarily fending off rushes as well as Wilso does. Wilso's a fantastic rush defender. And possibly if Wilso had put some sound beams down in Nandidd's base, things would have turned around, but the decision in the heat of the moment to continue the attack against Kevin was not necessarily the wrong one, it's just a shame that it worked out the way it did.
Agreed.
Now, this is interesting. I
think it's like, it's sort of like depends. It's like, it'd be different if we were a single rush, right?
Yes.
But we were not only a double rush, but one of them was popping at level 1. It's just like such an overwhelming force, right? And it's like, do you sink the time into trying to defend that, or is your time rather spent pressuring one of the vulnerable players, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, who's Logan? You joining this?
Yeah, I was just stuck on the results.
I was really surprised to see those level 1 beetles come in. I don't think that was a good strategy.
Yeah,
I don't think that was beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been better off even with level 1 range, I feel like, to hit those sound beam towers.
I've used those before, and they're great if you're doing a level 1 rush, but they get picked off so easily, especially sound beams up.
Yeah, even if like blother had just sent a beefier level 1 unit even to tank the sound beams a little bit for those eels.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that it mattered, I suppose. Oh my god, could it be the Crag counterpick? We are going Crag, baby.
I love to see the Crag.
Yeah,
I think we haven't seen very much Crag in this tournament so far.
No, we haven't, but it's so interesting. I mean, I know Matt loves this map. It might suit Kevin pretty well as well, because Kevin's micro is just really, really good. You can see him pulling off some early henchman shenanigans. I happen to know that Team Scotland was really preparing and kind of banking on an eroded duos counterpick from Team England. That was what they trained the most on, I believe.
Which is also a great map.
A great map, a tournament staple. Matt is using really stupid, don't use. This is controversial play. Oh, never mind. He switched to heinous deeds. That's good.
Maybe it's just a fake out, They spent all that time training on one map, and see if we whip out the Crag at the last minute.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tremendously interesting.
But you never know.
I don't know if Matt's even ever played on New Crag, really. It's subtly different to Old Crag. They seem to be chatting, I suppose, in voice, nothing coming through on text. Probably strategizing about when they're going to go island, which makes me think that maybe they haven't actually planned this out. Shoddy, have you ever done Crag before?
I have once or twice, so not super experienced on it, but from what I have seen, I'm really curious to see if we're going to get the hover block come out during this game, as we've seen in the game prior in the World Cup.
I'd be stunned if we did, to be honest, from these players, from either of these teams, because I know UK hates hoverblock, and I don't think Scotland can be bothered. All right, we're going into it. You guys, what is your pick? Who's going to win this?
I'm placing my bets on. I think I'm placing my bets on Scotland, just simply based on what you previously said about strong microplay. I think Kevin's micro is like almost like unrivaled.
Yeah, it's pretty supreme, and you know Nandidd loves to boom, and he cannot do that here really.
Yeah, there's not much to work with on Crag.
Oh my goodness, this is a fast level 2 coming out from Beefy. What's Matt got up his sleeves? I wonder if he's been funneled. Oh my god.
Nandidd going island.
Yeah, Nandidd sending a single hedge to island. That's interesting.
Oh, he's trickling them from the lab.
Okay.
It's very, very smart. I think whoever takes that island is going to take the win here, to be honest.
That seems to happen 8 times out of 10 on Crag.
You could potentially go like the land route, and then you have potentially 3 more expos.
And that looks like they might be doing that.
Yeah, they're actually, both teams are going for the south. Matt has just noticed Nandidd getting established up north. I think he'll take the geyser. Yeah, good trade, best you can do. Oh, equal numbers of henchmen spotting each other to the south and both retreating.
They're running.
Oh my goodness. Scattering like pigeons before a bus. Unreal.
Freaking mirror play. And we got a beefy level 2.
Oh, and we've got a chamber coming out from Wilso. That's going to put him in good stead as soon as he hits 2, but Nandidd will get there first. There's Blother. Okay, this water chamber could be huge for Team Scotland. They are going to assault this northern island, but Nandidd's making water chambers of his own. Too close to call at this point. Ah, Cockrunk. Good plays. Okay, so this stink will be really good against sound beams. Oh my god, and there's so many. Yep, here they are. The bad words themselves. These are lemming eels, but the ultra cheap variant. Oh, but that's huge against these tuna pillars. Tuna pillars are going to absolutely destroy them. Matt's got to get on top of this. Before this one more comes out, here comes the pack bonus.
Oh, but he's already in melee range.
Wow, big call, big call.
Crucial for getting the jump on these artillery.
Meanwhile, this fight is brutal, but it's going to go Team England's way.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, it looks like Will's retreating a little bit. He's definitely got the numbers here. He can do this. But he's lost his stinker. So that sound beam tower... Oh my god, and Matt has just done it. Matt has just done it up north here. This is unreal. His matchup against those caterpillars was so bad, but he just had the edge in numbers.
Yeah, definitely the numbers and the micro really played to him winning despite the artillery range matchup.
And meanwhile, that stink from Wilso was unfortunately not the best. It did miss the cloud. Miss the tower, I mean. But Nandidd, great call. He's re-establishing over here. Do we have anyone going 3? Doesn't look like it, but Matt is assaulting the mining lines with these goddamn things. That was a better cloud there. But somehow Kevin has defended this attack that looked so good for Team UK. Kevin's got to get some more hench out though. Yes, and here's his mining line getting assaulted. Oh my goodness. And all of a sudden these caterpillars are going to be a big threat.
And now he only has one spot where he's mining. And now that's going to start getting assaulted by Kevin.
Indeed, it
Oh,
will.
we got some response attacks from Nandidd.
Yeah, this is great work from Nandidd up north. Really, really good. He still managed to keep this island, but he's losing hench pretty rapidly. Goodness me, this is anyone's game at this point. Looking stronger for Scotland, I would say, but this barrage from Nandidd is really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here he comes. He's taking pressure off that island expo. He's going to get this workshop down if Nandidd doesn't start repairing right now. There it goes. That's a really big play. Those henchmen are now going to run through the water. Nope, there goes the workshop.
There's these eels from Matt. It looks like they're trying to hit the lab, but their range is just out of range. So they're just sitting here.
Yeah, that's okay. They're there to stop henchmen, I think. And this attack from Nandidd has been largely fended off by Team Scotland. Oh my goodness. Matt's going 3, but he's got to get something amphibious, or at least something with longer range. Both teams are having their labs just slowly whittled down by fire. Oh, this gen being fully upgraded is so big for Team UK. England, rather. They're both Team UK, really. Oh my god, somehow Kevin's getting the better. Despite the stink, Kevin is getting the better down here. And that stink actually saving his creatures from the sound beam. That's really unfortunate. Wilso's kind of done here. I don't know what he's got to do.
This isn't looking good for Wilso and Nandidd.
Nandidd's done such a great job keeping this island. Matt's stubbornly deciding that he wants part of it as well.
Kevin hasn't repopulated his lab coal. Well, I mean, I wouldn't at this point because of all the artillery.
Correct.
But it looks
yeah.
like he has both this expo and the one rivaling Will's. And
Blother's defense is just
now
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blother's defense is absolutely unreal. I mean, his lab is getting damaged again, but that's not a big deal. Matt's matchup against these units is suddenly not quite so good with these level 3 Lion. I think that's Lion Manowar. Yeah, it is. Beauty.
The blob.
But it's so interesting that we've kind of settled back into a stalemate. This really keeps looking like it's going to go one way or the other. Nandidd's almost 3. Wilso's just struggling a lot, I'm afraid. Poor guy's really been hemmed in.
Oh, we got a clinic and a gen amp, Kevin.
And one from Nandidd as well. I wonder what are we doing here? Nandidd's probably going electric and economy upgrades.
Oh, you hate to see this. The hench punching poison touch units.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is grim. They're just punching to their own demise. But Beefy's still trying to take this expo. Nandidd's defense of it has been really stellar. And yep, here's Blother with also the Lion Manor Wars.
Oh, give me a sec.
Good pooch. Hey Smokey, here's our 4th commentator today. What do you think of the game, Smokey? He's shy. Oh my god.
Boy, he's the quiet one.
Okay, of course.
That's the senile old man.
It did sound a little bit senile. This bombard against Kevin's lab is fantastic. I wonder if he's going to survive this. He has lab D, I think. Yeah, he has gone 3. Oh, and Nandidd's just over up north.
Oh, we got artillery of his own. This will be huge.
It's not looking good for England. The south expansion is now taken.
Oh my god, England has just been suffocated by this Scottish attack.
Those eels just made a massive difference in the outcome of this game.
Hysterically they did, and Nandidd was building that workshop back again. He is such a good player, just unflapped and utterly unflappable.
Oh, we got some fences, but are they going to be built before Matt gets there? I think not.
Hey, it doesn't matter. This is really heartbreaking stuff for England. They've done so well in this tournament so far, but it looks like tonight they've just been overwhelmed.
That's unfortunate. I really had England winning this one, but this is really surprising.
Give me the keys to your Volvo. I've won this bet.
And there's the call.
Wow.
But I reckon it'll be a very commanding force in the losers bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely one of the more dominating teams that I've seen perform in this tournament so far. So for Scotland to go 2-0, that's really amazing.
Yeah, I was really expecting a 3-game series out of this.
Yeah, no, me too. I can't believe it went down so quickly. But I mean, not because the match was bad necessarily. Like England really went toe to toe and probably could have taken either of those games.
Yeah, it really could have been anyone's series. Oh, I guess we have some people joining the call.
First of all, do we have Team England?
You do indeed.
You do, hello.
Nandidd, Wilso, guys, fantastic! A great couple of games. Unfortunately, Scotland has just walked away with it today. Talk me through first of all Game 1, then Game 2.
Well, we felt bad because obviously Kevin's got a meeting, so we're like, well, we'll just let him win, and then we'll just tear through losers.
Sure.
No, actually, so we watched back the game between Scotland and I think it was England last year, oh, no, it wasn't. It was Scotland against myself and Logan, and I remember Matt in the interviews afterwards. He said, "Oh, we're really scared of being double rushed on Hillfort." And of course, they bloody did it to us.
Yeah.
But he also said that, he also rolled me with lemming eels. So I was determined to bring him back.
I brought lemming eels to Game 2.
So I brought lemming eels, and unfortunately, we didn't realise it was a double on Nandidd until too late. So it was like weighing up: do I full commit to killing blother, or do I go and help Nandidd? I perhaps overextended on blother, and maybe I should have supported Nandidd. But hindsight's a wonderful thing.
We were wondering about you definitely took a little extra time getting the henchman around to the other side of Kevin's base to build that water chamber.
Oh, I sent him that really early on. The idea was that so it can't be scouted. If you send a hench there super early, it can't be scouted because you can just build on a route that they didn't send a normal scout to. So it's just an off-meta tourney strat. Is just sending that hench there. It's nothing I'd do in a regular game.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, Matt went much more direct with 3 henchmen, and he got his chamber up before you did, in just the regular spot. And in the end, unfortunately, Kevin didn't scout in either direction, so it didn't make a lot of difference.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's one of those where you have to roll the dice and gamble, and
Absolutely.
it happens. Crag was a whole lot of fun. We'd already... In fact, I actually spoke to Matt previously and said, whatever happens on Hillfort, we're taking you to Crag. If we beat you on Hillfort and then you pick a different map against us Game 2 and you win that, well, we're taking you Crag Game 3. So Crag was always our counter pick just because it's a map where there's so much potential for upsets because anything can happen. In the end, Pure Swimmers just completely decimated my economy, so I couldn't fight blother. And it was still a rough matchup for Nandidd on the North Island because of the Pure Swimmers overpop. So great games there. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, Pure Swimmers on really tight maps like Crag and Face Off tend to be really, really beneficial.
And I would just like to extend a pretty big congratulations to Nandidd, who did a fantastic job holding that North Island against all odds. Nandidd, did you feel under the pump at all?
I felt very much under the pump, yeah, but no, we were ready for a scrappy battle for the island, I think, because we picked Crag. So. But it was exciting.
Scrappy battles on all fronts. It was really, really cool. Kevin also doing a great job of holding out down south despite overwhelming pressure from Will. So Scotland, you're moving on.
Yeah. What did I say? I predicted this, What can I say?
Oh, you gotta toot your own horn.
Yeah, it's England, right? We're Scotland. I have to, gloat. It's like basically tradition.
It is traditional indeed, yeah. Any notes?
That's like Mel Gibson now, oh my gosh.
Me and Kevin actually practiced that Game 1 strat for a little while before that kicked off. We were just like, what's this, what's something cheesy we can do Game 1? Just because neither of us really like Hillfort very much.
And we came up with that. He donated me his starting electricity and a bunch of coal, so I got.
He also built your rods.
He also built
Yeah.
your rods, which was so cool. That was really great to see.
Yeah, it was. So we got like a freaky early level 2, and I was able to like keep up production from there. And then we kind of the level 1s were a nice touch. I really like those as well.
It's definitely something we don't see very often, an amphib combined one rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were pretty sure that was gonna kill Nandidd. We actually tried to rig the spawn so that we would kill Nandidd first, because we were
Yeah.
pretty. Like I think Will's got a better early game management, and I think Nandidd's got a better like late game macro. So we were just like, well, we just kill the one that won't be able to defend as easily, and then we should be in a pretty solid spot because Will. Well, I mean, Will ended up rushing as well.
I'm also an early game player. Like, you're absolutely right. I'm not particularly good late game unless I'm like free the whole time. So that is kind of one of the things we've looked at doing this tournament. Is I take some of the early game, Nandidd completely rolls the late game, and we saw that against Kiki. Nandidd can completely take over games. Like, he can tech and beam with the best of them. So
yeah, I mean, we watched the I watched the Italy game. I was like, well, Nandidd has to die.
That's exactly right. Yes, and we did wonder if that's what you're doing. It's really good to hear that level of forethought coming through. So look, fantastic games from both of you. Those were really exciting to watch and nice and quick as well. Everyone else playing in this tournament, take note. That's how you do a set. Thanks
balls to the wall.
very much for joining us. Thanks very much for putting all 4 of your balls through the walls.
Well, 4. I think there was 8 of
balls.
us. 8 balls.
Look, I'm not going to assume
I would say at least 7. I don't want to make any assumptions about anyone, but
Well,
Between
technically,
0
make
and
assumptions
10.
about 3 of us there. So
All right. Thanks so much, folks, and we'll catch you on the next replay.
yeah, go fuck you, Scotland.